And screw it, we're just going live early. Welcome to anyone and everyone who's watching another Tuesday night. We have Coda, and down here we've got Piper. The pups are here, and here's the fun thing. Hey yo, we got turtles in the chat. The most important thing, we have turtles in the chat. Here's the interesting part to all of this. Okay. Now, the fun part being, I have a brand new 4K monitor here, and it does not seem to be. Oh shit! I didn't realize it was throwing me straight in there. Brand new 4K monitor, and for some reason it keeps going into standby mode, which I cannot work out for the life of me what the hell is actually going on with it. And it's kind of annoying because it works really well when it's just the game. But for some reason, it seems to be shitting itself when it comes to doing the pass through. So I'm watching here, which is actually the element for the chat display and everything else. So I am trying to work it out and diagnose this shit on the fly. Yes, someone's fancy. I actually spent some money on myself, which is quite rare. Yeah, 32 inches. Always got to go 32 inches. You know, if Bobby Kai was here, then he would be specifically stating 32 inches. Always has to be. And for some reason, the oh, Piper, do not start. See, here's the fun part as well, is that Piper, leave it. See, sorry for anybody who's listening, because Piper's deciding that she needs to interject. But the weird part being is I can't hear myself in my headset either, which is really friggin' strange. Let's try this again. No. Oh my god, this is going to be hilarious if it comes to everything for tomorrow. I suppose it's easy enough to say here. Okay, it seems to be working fine here. And all right, let's. Oh, Piper, chill. She seems to be looking up here towards the kind of monitor and setup and everything, but seems to be quite pissed off about this. I don't know why. Maybe bribery. There we go. Maybe bribery will get me some peace and quiet here. All right, so we saved Dude Face, and he still looks weird. He doesn't look like the commander keys I know. And I've still got the sniper rifle. Jesus.
Cortana to Echo 419. We have the captain and need extraction on the double. Negative, Cortana. I've been engaged.
All right, let's. Yeah, it is a total redesign, and Piper is now still just interjecting, which is really friggin' strange. I don't know what's going on, but she's just decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna fuck with everything you're doing today. Piper, leave it. It's even a case where I might have to get qualified wombats, my wife, to actually come in here and take her out of the room, because if she, oh Jesus, Those boys got an absolute belter with that sticky grenade. I think it might be. I don't know. There's just something off with it. Hold on. From OMG Turtles. On. Let's get that elite. Wait, I've got a perfectly good sniper rifle that I'm not using. Oh, that's probably why I'm really shit at the sniper rifle. Oh, shit at the sniper rifle and terrible at catching grenades. This is really throwing me for a 6. From OMG Turtles, I spent the weekend laying a patio outside and ignored the dog. And when I came inside, Tam just sat on me and just stared me down. She was not happy. I have the same thing with Piper. She has this habit of if I don't pay her the correct attention, then she will absolutely let me know. And it just becomes this, it just becomes that, no, I don't get a say in the matter. It is now that this is what you're going to be doing. How fucking dare you? I'm also quickly going to open this up. Hopefully it doesn't just pop up on the stream. Let's see. Jesus. Okay. Okay, Piper, out. I am gonna have to I'm gonna have to call in the guns for this. See, this is the bark of how dare you, you're not doing what I want, and I'm just copying it now. I'm just absolutely copying it. And she's actually leaving the room. Oh no. Oh wow, that looks incredibly washed out. I'm absolutely shocked. This is really friggin' weird. Let's just go with internal and see. I think it could be the treats. I always have treats sitting up here. But for some reason, I'm friggin' shocked here. This is really weird. Oh. Okay, I think I see where our issue exists now. Is that the HDR settings. Yep, HDR settings is what's killing me. Okay. Well, at least now I know. Okay, so let's just kill that and see. See, I'm at least kind of happy that the actual stream itself isn't falling apart. It's just the console streaming. All right, let's get the grenades out there, and hopefully these boys will not get themselves grenaded in one. Oh, stuck you. Yes. Suck on that. Like, actually, a friend of mine, from OMG Turtles in the YouTube chat, giving some serious thoughts to getting an eGPU and turning my mini PC into a gaming PC. I've had a few friends actually go to eGPUs for their. Oh, sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to shoot you in the side. A few friends of mine, basically at the same time that I bought my ROG Ally and ROG Ally X a little bit later, they ended up buying the eGPUs for the ROG Ally, and they got the they ended up, one of them got a 5090 plug-in for the eGPU, and it absolutely friggin' slaps. I doubt that you'd want to go that hefty. Like everybody goes, oh, 5080, you can get them, get them on a discount at like 1300 USD. No, you're looking at about, in Australian dollary dues, you're looking at about 3.5, 4 grand here. And it's it's fucking tough to look at any GPU and go, yeah, that's worth 4 grand. Like, this is actually, this is running on the Xbox, but I tried getting it running on the PC, and it works really, like, the game is great on PC. Fantastic. Like, it does work really well with DLSS and all of the really nice, cool features. But it almost oh shit. It but I've always tended to buy just that little bit more than what I've needed. You know, like the old idea of future proof yourself. And the eGPUs work surprisingly well. They, if you're not looking for 144 hertz, absolutely best quality across everything, it can be really compelling. And the fact that you can buy the eGPU housings, or caddies, sorry, they refer to them as caddies. You can buy the caddies for them and occasionally get them at a really good discount. Then immediately from there, you can just basically line it up and go, oh, okay, wait for the GPU. Oh, wait. So the cinematic isn't even... The cinematic is not even showing now. Well, this is great. Oh, this is working perfectly well. Yeah, this is wonderful, fantastic. Elgato, you've done it again. See, I never used to have these issues with the Ava Media products, and it's almost making me really regret going with the Elgato, because everybody... Oh, the screen does actually work. So it was just the actual thing dying out. So it was just the video not showing. And now we've got another cinematic not showing. Maybe I should clip this and send this to... skip cinematic. We're gonna have to... There we go. All right. Now, here's the other weird thing, is that audio issue is back again. It is... Hold on. Let's try this. A weird part to this is that when I go to the dashboard, it actually catches in with no problem. Or it did. There we go. See, I can show you here. Dashboard, no problem. But as soon as it goes into yeah. See, this is a VRR capture device, and yeah, it just seems to not be working with me, which is kind of strange. Fidelity and auto scan. We're just gonna go fuck it. Let's override this motherfucker. I'm sick. Damn it. It just ends up being like, nope. Th- This is the wonderful part of working so much with equipment is that you get to these points and you're like, oh, for the love of God, why? Why did I choose this? And now we wait for the reset. Maybe not. Maybe the reset will not come. Nope, the reset is deciding not to come. This is, well, I have to admit, in terms of issues, I'm kind of glad that this is happening now. Because, like, it, it could be a whole lot worse, and this could be occurring tomorrow, like in about 12 hours time. um in which I'd be appearing on someone else's podcast. So at least for that, I don't, or at least I don't believe I need like my console working and like all of the devices and everything catching in together. That would be incredibly embarrassing. However, with this lovely no signal screen, uh let's okay, what I should do. Uh stream settings. Let's change the name of this stream. Choose and I continue with campaign involved. Or instead fixing Elgato issues. And save. And change it. Solving Elgato issues. Because if you're gonna do anything like this and have fun with it, you may as well call out the company while you're live on stream and hope that somebody's just gonna rock up and be like, "Oh, that's it. That's an easy fix. You just do this." But the likelihood is not high for that. And friggin', I would laugh if that was the case. Oh, we have something back. All right, let's go to here. The weird thing being is that actually worked a bit. Oh, hey. And it worked. And let's just give this a moment. Holy shit, it's actually showing up on the screen. I'm not touching a single goddamn thing. I did try wiggling the cable. I actually, right before we went live, I just grabbed a handful of cables and just shook them. And it didn't work, but now it seems to. Now, the key thing being is that it tends to work on the dashboard. Let's see if loading into, oh my God. Turtles, Turtles, you are the you are the person who has invoked the solution here, calling upon the wiggling of the cable gods. Coffee is needed after today. All right, so we have that. The only other thing to quickly check is that sound issue. Yep, stereo uncompressed. And everything else is good. Yep, we're looking good. Okay, fantastic. On to the beach. Ah, there we go. Well, that goes well. Although, I was going to ask Turtles, like, how did you actually go with the patio? Because you had mentioned there's several things for your for your house, working on the garden. All of that's always good, but have you managed to get the stuff done that you really wanted to? Like, is there one particular thing that you're looking at and going, oh, I don't know, is this, you know, is this gonna, I want to have this done by X date, which I think is possibly one of the cruelest things that people do to themselves when it comes to home renovations or improvements, is like, I want to have this done by this date, and you do it because you're like, oh, I've got a barbecue planned. I've got friends coming over for a, you know, like a D&D night or something like that. The moment that you do that, it feels like it's you almost set yourself up for failure. Oh my god, I can't even use the pistol. Oh, there we go. 2 shots. Okay, and Cortana is still not speaking to me. Went good. Replacing a concrete bed from the old greenhouse, but it looks good. Fits in well. See that? Also, it isn't me. Like, no one can hear the conversation between like Faux Hammer and yeah, it's B's birthday next month, so I have to replace the fence, get the garden sorted for it. Oh, that's tough. See, I'm like, oh, okay, we can actually hear people now. To be fair, we've decided not to do a party now, so the pressure's off. That's the biggest thing. As soon as the party happens, that's when it's like, it almost feels like, oh, I've set myself up for failure. All right.
I've been able to pinpoint the main facility by
I still can't.
cross-referencing Covenant survey data and religious texts. We were right. It's on this island. I've marked the entrance with a nav point.
I don't know if it's just me, but but it sounds like Cortana's speaking from like the bottom of a. Oh wait, there we go. It must have actually been my headset cables, because I could barely hear certain parts of the audio. Now I can hear the warthog. Yeah. Ah. Okay. Here is one issue that does exist with this. In Halo CE, you could just drive all the way out there. They just, like, you'd basically be driving around with these guys in the water. They wouldn't drown or disappear, but they'd just absolutely be hauling ass with you. But you could go all the way out there. I have to admit, though, it's one thing, like, having listening to a few of the reviews for Campaign Evolved. It's nice to actually hear that in, like, a lot of the initial negative reactions for many people were that, oh, it doesn't do this from the original. But I think, as I said on the Thursday or Friday night stream last week, like, if I wanted it to be one for one the nostalgia of the original Halo, I would want to just play the original. Like, I've got, actually, I think it's like just behind me in the shelf. I've got an original Xbox here, and strangely enough, I went and bought a HDMI cable for an original Xbox, like a HDMI output to be able to put into the capture equipment, to be able to do some streaming of some original games that you can't play on backwards compatibility. Oof, Jesus. Take these guys out. I do think old graphics turn off a lot of people, though. They do. It was actually like, now everyone's entitled to their opinion, as it is. I haven't watched a lot of Digital Foundry content recently because the only things that I was ever getting sent were like the sit downs that they do every week, like their kind of breakdown of the news, and then listener viewer questions, which is generally interesting, but at the same time, I'm kind of looking for technical breakdowns. Like I'm a big old geek. I love to know the information about what's happening behind everything. Um, just gonna park this here. Um, but the kind of uh technical breakdown on Halo Infinite was interesting. Like especially them talking about like the lumen light systems and everything else. It's incredible to see how it all works together. Like you start noticing the little particulars and things like color to the light that you can see here is white light. It's based off the lights there, but this light's blue. But as you kind of move between it, you can see the kind of rough reflections, but they're screen space. But they're actually lit from the proper lighting color point around it. Whereas, you know, in a lot of games, it would be the old static lighting. But something that kind of came up about it, and I didn't realize it for a lot of people, or that people had this opinion, that the Halo Anniversary Edition, the 10-year anniversary edition, which was the 360.
I underestimated the Covenant's
Oh,
understanding of Halo's subsystems.
can we see the sword
We'll
elite
need to find
through
a
here?
security override to get this door
Damn
open.
it. See, what you could do in the past was if you had the pistol, you could, there was like the little edge. Hold on. I'll let them talk first. They started talking first. Let them finish.
Understood. We're still en route to the objective. I may be out of contact when we get there. Here are your orders. I want you to use any means necessary to force your way into the facility and find Halo's control center. Good luck, people. Keys out.
So there used to be this kind of window element, and you could see the sword elite through here because he'd be standing there, and if you had the pistol, you could actually shoot him and kill him, so that when the cinematic of the sword elite coming through here occurred, you could see the dead corpse of the elite standing there, because it was all based on, okay, if then triggers. But for some reason that piece of geometry just didn't catch bullets, and it was one of those cool little things. I was wondering whether it would still be in here for this, but oh well, that's okay. But kind of on Halo Anniversary Edition was like John Linneman was talking his way through it, and he was talking about like the art direction and everything, that they lost the element of what made the original Halo. It wasn't the right style, aesthetic, everything else. Um, I just remember when Halo Infinite coming out and just being like, oh, okay, it's basically someone's like
Looks like there is a path
it.
into the interior of the island.
I remember it just being, or treating it as if it was just a graphical update to the game. It didn't change anything, and it was the first of the, you know, press the back button and see the old graphics sort of remasters, which, you know, to a degree, we would then see happen a lot more in years later. Or you'd then have stuff like Bluepoint, where they would take the original engine, build upon the top of it, and then come up with, you know, the oh Jesus, suicide grunts, man.
It looks like
And
there's
at least
a
I'm
path
rolling down
into
the
interior
rolling
of the
down the hill.
island.
The kind of way that a lot of people will go, oh, this is this is a bastardization of what I remember. But it's a tough thing for any sort of remake, remaster, or any sort of changed original game or updating it, is that you're always going to have at least a variation or a change to it if you are doing a just complete, you know, straight down the barrel remake with no... Whoop, avoided that grenade. Yeah, I saw you. Wait, is there someone down here? Somebody else. Cheeky little shit. I didn't realize that people didn't like it, or that they felt it was disrespectful to the original Halo or anything. I just remember it being, honestly, just a kind of straight line gussy up. Like, in a sense, you'd think about it, it was what Black Mesa originally was. I bet I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Surprisingly, like, I looked at it and went, oh, okay, like, yeah, it does actually look quite different when you, oh, Jesus. No, guys, don't try to attack it. Oof. Oh, I remember the days when I could just shoot you once with this pistol and you'd be fucking dead. You'd be dead. Those days are long gone. They're over 20 years ago now. Off. Really? To go all the way back up there again. Although I bet if I drove this into them, they're just going to like swat it away and I'm going to just blast away Team Rocket style. That honestly is what I'd expect to happen. Well, fortune favors the bold. May as well find out. Okay, not so Team Rocket style, but close enough. Oh shit, we actually took one out. All right, boys, let's work this. Come on. That is like the world's slowest roadkill death. And there was another grunt alive. Jesus. Okay, they've definitely changed this up, because I'd remember, like, you know, you just bump them with the car and then just like flop, and that was about it. Oh. It almost feels like this Warthog is near invincible. I thought that they still kind of had the old Halo Reach, Halo 3, Halo 2? Was it Halo 2? Destructible Warthogs? Oh, wait, it's smoking. Okay. Maybe this thing will not survive as long as I hoped. Go on, boys. Can I melee it?
Try aiming that weapon.
Nope. Okay. But yeah, I've like watching the breakdown. It was very interesting. I'm always impressed in a sense that I honestly thought that this breakdown, or this was based on like the Halo 1 code, and that they just ported things in that we kind of took for granted. But surprisingly, they said it was based on Halo Reach. Oh, I forgot about you boys again, and I can't. Oh, I'm sure I could probably get the Warthog down here, but that's probably not going to work well in my favor. Oh, Jesus. The only people can... Which is my favorite Halo? See, in a sense, Halo 1 has such a very special place to me. The aforementioned playing through it with my sister, and the fact that Halo 2's launch, like when Halo 2 launched, November 9th, as written, or actually now we found out that it wasn't actually tattooed on him. Peter Moore in his book stated that it was basically special effects from a Hollywood special effects team that they actually did a fake tattoo for him, and that he had that applied, and they basically faked him being backstage getting it tattooed. But I was working for what is known as GameStop in the United States, EB Games here in Australia. That I was working for them as a casual employee for Halo 2's launch. Hello, Yahtzee. So I had a copy of it because I'd only started working for them, I think, in the couple of months. Jesus. These hunters, man, these hunters are absolutely mullering me. Fuck it, we're just gonna go bold. Not even gonna give me that. Come on. So I had already pre-ordered the game before I started working for this store, and back then it was just a case of like, well, you know, I could have changed my pre-order to be the store I was working at, but at those times, like, I think it's no secret that there were incentives that if for particular regions, if you had the most amount of pre-orders for a game, that you would get little bonuses and things like that. And one of the people who who has appeared watching here on the Twitch chat, Mishkin, he was actually the assistant manager at that store that was local to me. So he and his manager were good friends. I'd have beers with them and everything, but my copy was pre-ordered at that store. I worked about 4 suburbs away at a completely different store, so I had to work the midnight launch for Halo 2. And I'd gotten out there. I had to be there at like 9 o'clock. We had to go through, you know, getting people to pay for their copies before midnight so that you could just go through. My sister, at midnight, went and picked up my copy of Halo 2 that I had pre-ordered and paid off from this other store. And then when we had finished and actually closed up the store for that night, which I think from memory, it was like 1:30. So we'd worked like the 4 hours for that, the 4 hours for that day. And then very nicely, my sister came out and actually picked me up from work. And we got home, and she, like, my sister and I were living in different places at that point. She had come home, dropped me back at my place, and we played through the first level of Halo 2 together in co-op. And then and then I was just like, I am fucking knackered. I need some sleep. She had work the next day. We crashed. I went to work. She went to work or school. Can't remember which it was. And yeah, we ended up playing. I think that was a Tuesday night that it came out. So I think it was Thursday night. Normally she'd be, you know, hanging out with friends or catching up with friends. Instead, we just stayed home playing Halo. So Halo 2 has a very special place in my heart because it was the first midnight launch I remember, like, especially with my sister. Like, we've played a lot of video games together. But at the same time, I keep thinking of it and going, Halo 3 was another weird midnight launch story. Sorry, this is just ended up being story time less than what's my favorite Halo. In terms of the games, I would say Halo 3 is probably the one that kind of sits with me the most, because it was yeah, I know, but at the same time, stories. So okay, I'm just going to keep bashing my head against the wall of these hunters, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop for a moment and finish a thought without loudly exclaiming that these hunters are bullshit. Halo 3, with my girlfriend at the time, we lived, like, I still had my Halo 3 pre-order at the same store where Mishkin is, or was at that point. So I've got the I've got Halo 3 Legendary Edition. Actually, I think, is it? No, it isn't there. I actually have the Halo Legendary helmet, um, but I pre-ordered it at my store. Now, my store where I did live was at, like, where I grew up was Strathpine. So basically 25 minutes into the city was where I was living with my girlfriend at the time. We'd moved out and were living together. We lived at a place called Banyo. And to describe this place in probably the nicest way would be to describe this house as a dumpster with shutters, because it was this small, very rectangular. It it looked like a British home, like a British home in size, in that it's just like long and thin, but it didn't have a second story. And it was made like a Queenslander, which is that you use weatherboard and everything else. It wasn't the greatest place, but I've got a lot of good memories there. But I lived out there, and my pre-order store is like 20 minutes away. I've like This is the first time that my girlfriend's actually seen me be a real gamer, where I was like, I have taken the next 2 days off work because this video game comes out at midnight. I'm going out there to pick it up. I'm bringing it home and I'm playing it. And the next 2 days, I'm just going to be playing it. I'm taking holidays off work. She'd never seen me take time off work. So I will switch to this. So I've, like, don't have a car at this point. So I've gotten a cab from where I am to the store, gotten there at about 10:30 at night, big lineup out front of the store. Everybody's paying for their copies. It's, everybody's standing around talking. We're talking Halo. Everybody's excited. Everybody's paid off their copies. They have their entire back room, plus the back room of the store next to them, and I think the back room of the kind of back room entrances for everywhere were completely filled with these big, like, in terms of it all, I think the legendary editions were about 500 by 500 by 500 millimeters. So half a meter cubed. They had all of these editions. There was something like 140, 150 people there for the midnight launch. I've gone out there, taken a cab all the way out there, a $50 cab. So a $50 cab out there. I've already paid it was $199 for the legendary edition at that point, I think. So I'm $250 in the hole and get there midnight, chat with everybody, hits midnight, wait for my turn for the ticket, go in, get my copy, head out, walk up to the cab rank, jump in the first cab, and it's this like 60-year-old dude, and he's like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "Banyo, this place." And he's like, "Oh yeah, cool, all right, no problem." And in classic cabbie fashion as well, he didn't put it on the clock. He was just like, you know, he didn't clock on. He just went, and it's so that he can get a cashy instead of having it appear in the system, and then he has to pay his share to the person who owns the cab license and the vehicle. Um, cab drivers around the world, they all do it. Even Uber drivers are now doing it. So I've then jumped in this cab, headed home. I've gotten home. I think I would have been out of there about 12:30, so another half hour. I get home at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock p.m. or 1 o'clock a.m. My girlfriend is dead asleep. She's heading to work the next day. I get home and we've got this little shed which had kind of a utility room, and that's where I'd kind of set up my PC and my and the TV and everything else for all of my consoles and stuff. I didn't really have that stuff in the house. So then I've gotten in my little fridge in there, plenty of cans of drink, everything else, some snacks, bits and pieces. I put in Halo 3. I install it, I start playing it, and I just play it all the way through. This little utility room I used to smoke in as well because it wasn't inside the house. So technically I wasn't breaking lease conditions by smoking in the shed. So I'm just chain smoking and I'm playing through the entire game on normal all the way through. First time I hadn't actually played through the entire game with someone in co-op. Coffee is fantastic. It's 7 o'clock in the morning and the credits are rolling on the game. Like, I think I blitzed through the game in 6 hours. So I'm kind of sitting there, like leaning back, cigarette in my hand, like, holy shit, like I finally seen the game through. I thought it was a really brilliant ending. The idea of Chief not ever getting back, and the idea of, in a sense, very similar to Samus Aran, that it's almost like or to a degree, I think it's actually what they did with the um the Doom Slayer in Doom 2016. The idea of him being taken out of the sarcophagus when he's needed, rip and tear until it's done. It's kind of like the hero doesn't need to exist in the real world. They're not a hero for times of peace. They are a hero. They are a hero that exists when action is required, when there need to be something, when there need to be something for people. So I finished that, and then my girlfriend has woken up and she's come out because she's been like, "You didn't come to bed," and I'm like, "No, I've just finished Halo 3," and I started talking about it. She's like, "Did you seriously just play through the entire game that you just got last night? So you've been up since..." Because I didn't have a sleep the previous day. So I'd gotten up at like 5 a.m., say Monday morning, gone to work, had a shower, come home. From OMG Turtles, I can't think of a better ending to a trilogy. It was so satisfying. That's the beauty of it, I think, is that why Halo 3 is probably my favorite is because I didn't think that ending of Halo 2 was bad in a sense. It definitely felt rushed, but in the initial run of things, I wasn't like, "What? That's it?" Because I thought it was a very bold sense in going, we've laid out this story, anybody who's done any form of like reading books or anything else, you felt it that it was like half the story, and it's like this was the best point to kind of trim it before you jumped into the next game. But then you can tell Bungie thought they were done at the end of the 3. They put their heart into that game, and yeah, they did, because the touches and everything else, regardless of what you think of him, Marty O'Donnell did uh, before all of the right wing stuff, when he spoke about some of the elements about Halo 3, where he spoke about the idea of Miranda and Johnson not making it, and that initially 343 Guilty Spark killed Johnson, and then Master Chief basically picked up the Spartan laser and just absolutely fucking mullered him, like blasted him out of the sky. And Marty O'Donnell said, but he's been there as an antagonist, but nothing that you've been able to impart your own will against. You have to be the person who pulls the trigger. Like, it's not satisfying if you just see him get killed, and you've already done that with the prophet of regret. Like, you've already had him killed by the Arbiter. And yes, it's satisfying in that sense, but you didn't pull the trigger. You can't let 343 Guilty Spark die without you being the person to pull the trigger. And I like that some of those elements, you can tell that they really agonized over it, about what do we do to make sure that people feel that they connected with that moment, that they had it. And also just the quality level. Like, you look at Halo 1 and it was a bar setter. Halo 2 was doing things that nobody thought the original Xbox would be capable of doing, because they were putting, well, the stencil engine that they initially showed with that that E3 demo and everything was, yes, it was running on development hardware, as they said, but they didn't have anything at the end of it. They could not get that stencil engine to work in a reliable manner for an entire game. It just kept breaking. So, but then Halo 3 on the 360, just, it jumped so much more. And it was also, I think, one of the first engines where they wanted to raise the quality level, but they knew that they were limited in how they could push into the frame buffer. So to be able to hit the minimum standard, which I think in the 360 was 2 by MSAA, multi-screen, multi-sample anti-analyze. Yes, I think it was MSAA that was a requirement for games on the console. So they couldn't manage it across each frame hitting at 30 FPS. So what they did was they split the buffer in an interlace mode, where individual elements of the frame were kind of like buffering back and forth. So it didn't actually run at like 720p or 1080p. It would output to that, but it was actually kind of a form of kind of interlace scaling, I think it was. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember from it. But it was like smart engineering to be able to get around the problem. But the moment of sitting there, finishing a game, and then like, ultimately, to a degree, this with other issues is why ex-girlfriend was ex-girlfriend ultimately. But that if you walk into a room and you see somebody who isn't tearing up, but you can see that they're kind of like, they're excited, they're overwhelmed, they're like, holy shit, like, I just read the most amazing book, or I just watched the most amazing movie, or I just played the most amazing game. If your reaction in someone's moment of joy is to go, you just wasted your time doing X, because they don't see the benefit to it, that kind of, like, in a sense, shook me, because throughout my life, I've been openly a nerd, and I've never hidden that fact. I've always been very upfront and honest about my tendencies. It is a red flag. Like the all all elements and credit to her is that I was always open and honest about that, and same with me not wanting kids or anything else. People can have different expectations or a feeling that, maybe this is just something they do, or, you know, these things could improve in the future. Um, but by the same token, that's how things are. If if you know who you are at self, and that you have that you have that thing that is not a point of compromise for you, you can't budge on it, then, as Steve Rogers says, plant yourself as the tree and say, no, you move. It's Some things matter a lot to people, and considering everything across how much video games have meant to me, it wasn't an immediate red flag, but it was certainly that point of going, you you don't understand what, like, I've talked about this to you. I've excitedly told you for like the couple of months leading up to this that, oh my God, I finally get to finish this game series that I started in 2001 before we met. Um, you know, this is a series that has traveled with me for these years. I finally get to see the end of it. And to just look at it and go, you just wasted an entire night and you've got 2 days off work while you're wasting it on a video game. It's like, then I don't know what to tell you, because it did mean that much to me. So it is an incredibly long-winded way of saying that Halo 3 is definitely the game that Halo 3 is definitely the game. That is my favorite. The the fact of the end, like, I know that for a lot of people they did not like the way that Mass Effect 3 ended. For some, that's you agree with my long-winded way of like, it's, yeah, that girlfriend didn't mean shit. No. It Oh, plate tectonics. Break off 25 hunter back plates. I broke off back plates? These hunters have back plates? Oh, that's how you get to their wormy bits. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Nope. Need to avoid the shot. Damn it. Yeah, the surprising thing as well is that for everything, the way that having a trilogy, like, when you consider it, there's a lot of trilogies that occurred, or some trilogies that will never occur. Half-Life 3, I'm looking at you. The I'm thinking about it. So we've got the Halo series. That's a trilogy done, basically in a full run of its own, and then two, in a sense, one prequel, one spin-off. There's the Mass Effect games. Obviously, years later, there's the Witcher games, although not many people have actually played the Witcher one, which I think is criminal because it is a really good game. It's just a game that belongs to an era that no longer really exists anymore, which is, the really hardcore RPG, almost very tabletop in a sense, because of how particular it is. Like, if you want an idea, like, you go and check out Zero Punctuation's review of The Witcher, because he does highlight a lot of fucking issues in that game, especially like the style of play, the elements of how you move through the worlds, the idea of amnesia being so absolutely essential to the idea of rebuilding Geralt as a character, because they didn't want to alienate new players by having them basically have required reading. Oh my god, you're dead. You're dead. Yes, fuck you, wormy guy. Oh, the splats are everywhere still. Yes. Okay. And I've just run out of ammo. Of course I did. I think, from memory, I'm definitely going to get more ammo, because as far as my No. You got it. We are not going anywhere in that fucking truck, guys. You can just stay there. You can stay there and chill. The Witcher series as a trilogy. Also, like, surprisingly, one of the trilogies that, oh my god, I completely forgot that I had the overshield. That would have made everything so much easier. So yeah, for an engineer, I'm a fucking idiot sometimes. Situational awareness, what's that? The the Uncharted games. I think the first Uncharted was PlayStation 3, second Uncharted PlayStation 3. Yeah, I think all three of them were PlayStation 3, and then I think Uncharted 4 was PlayStation 4. So that's another kind of like trilogy and then continuation that continued on after.
Use the holo panel to shut down the security system.
Wonder if it's actually gonna show me the CGI sequence here. Nope. Sim cinematics do not come with
Good. That should open the door that leads into the main shaft.
I actually think I may know where that issue exists. So it's a weird thing, but I tend to do it 1080p. That's why. This would be probably the main reason, is that certain cinematics and sequences for a lot of games will instead run. Is this live? Yes, it is. Donald Wham, we are live. Live on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, the cinematic sequences, I think for some games, when they're using a particular encoder, I cannot remember which one it is. Oh, and one of the terminals. Fantastic. This is probably going to be something that I never look at again.
We need to go to the main facility. Let's head back down the beach.
And we are going to have... Yep, there they are. I remember you guys. Remember... Ooh, Jesus. Sorry for these Sims, bro. There is no Sims. So
we need to go to the main facility. Let's head back
when it comes down to it, thinking about like the sequels that the sequels and generational kind of games that went past just one title in their history, but I'm trying to think. There's obviously, yeah, the two that I mentioned before is The Witcher, obviously, Mass Effect, Uncharted, which I've never played, but in terms of like they mean a lot. Like a lot of people, when the idea of even the rumored, I think it's been
Bravo
rumored so
22 was
far.
bringing us some heavy weapons. After
This
I
game
saw
is
you were
missing a
on those
non-GY
campers, I thought
Spartan.
you could use them.
Okay, I am not sure what you're going with there, dude. But the autocorrect. The idea of the sequels and actually having games kind of roll through. It used to be
Stay on target.
okay,
Hey,
hold
don't
on.
get cocky.
Did we just a non-gay Spartan?
He's unstoppable.
Really? John 117? First time chat from Monty 5678677 in the Twitch tube. Yeah, mate, came across the stream, drop a follow before heading out. Cheers, thank you very much. Yeah, for you at Donald Wham, I am not I do not remember anything about Spartan sexuality. I'm not that bought into the idea of that it really matters, but okay. I don't know why History Channel makes everyone gay. Fair enough. Everyone has their thoughts and feelings on it. I just know that I like me some Halo, and it is a fantastic, fun game. Although, if John is of the persuasion you're mentioning, why would it matter? And which Halo games don't have someone of that orientation? I like it. You put the question forward. I'm non-gay Spartan. Okay, I am completely confused. But you know, it is what it is. Oh Jesus. Oh Christ, this is. I also don't know what they're feeding these ODSTs, but they have a they certainly have a hefty amount of health compared to the previous days. Because they used to just. Oh my God, this thing is seriously on fire. You guys you probably want to get the hell out of there. Bunch of big badasses. I get it. Okay. All right, and well, thank you for that, Monty. Sorry, I missed the elements for that. Yeah, I'll pop my head over there and have a look at it. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Orbital shock troopers are bored. Yeah, that. Well, considering that they're getting dragged around by me and like basically run through every friggin' weird. Wait. Okay, this Halo has crabs. Oh, wait, a skull. Fair enough. Brother, good night. Well, thank you very much for dropping by, Donald. I hope you have a good rest of the night.
We should now have access to the main facility. Let's find the
Okay,
map
so all right, if memory serves me, right down here at the bottom of the ramp, in that room just off to the side is the Sword Elite. Send your sword again. So... All right, let's see if the cinematic sequence actually kicks in. No. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is one of the weird things for the game is that I'm still having this issue come up where the cinematic sequences don't actively catch in. So this is running on the Xbox Series X. It's not a PC issue or anything else. And for some reason, like, yeah, it just does not kick over. So I'm not sure if you know of anybody who is playing it, or fuck you. Anybody who is playing it or has come across these issues. And we've got our first bot of the evening that has appeared in the Twitch chat. All right. We'll get these guys. I think I got the elites, so they're not going to be the issue. And I don't remember there being any jackals in this room. I think they're actually waiting in the next area. Hold on. Let's take that first time AI bot person and bam. Fucking cables in the sand. I'm not certain. Wi-Fi cables in the sand. Little crabs. I have to admit, they'd be fucking badass little badass little crabs if they've got decent Wi-Fi on them. Wait. Fortune favors the bold. Oh. Fuck yeah. Come here, you. Oh, Jesus. That power charge, sorry for spam. That's okay. From OMG Turtles, controversially, I think Halo 5 doesn't deserve the hate it gets. It's a good game. I am absolutely in agreement with you there. It is surprising how quickly that people went, oh, it's not a good game because of the particulars. Like, it's not a Chief game, or it's not it's not focused on Chief. But one of the elements that I think is kind of a requirement of any healthy franchise is that while you can have your main hero be your center point, your balance point for how people see the world, if you don't challenge that position or that point of view, what you potentially do is just have a skewed world where they can't ask questions, they can't be seen as being wrong, because there's then the kind of, are they an unreliable narrator? Are they instead being misled? Is it then that, is it machinations? It was woke shit, I think, is what you're going for there, Donald. Fair call. Everyone's got their opinion. The kind of key thing, though, I think, is I agree that Halo 5 is underrated because people did consider it, go, it's not a true Halo. You're literally not with me. Sulk, salt shit. I'm trying to uh I'm trying to interpret what it is you're saying. So forgive me if I get it wrong. But I think there's a I'd be worried if he was in your house. Yeah, there's the element of every hero in kind of media, like I won't say good media. I don't like ever being somebody who goes like, "Oh, this is good and this is bad and that's shit." You can't like those things. Everybody has their own their own stories, their own heroes. Like I still think one of the best heroes that is in performance is a hero like John McClane, the classic example of what is in a sense now an established thing in media, which is a hero like it's the person who's in the wrong place and at the wrong time. Give me a beige babe. Fair enough. The kind of give me a beddish babe. I do not know what that means. I like excuse my ignorance. It's in a sense like it could be that I am Australian and I'm not getting the nuances about what it is you're saying. The the new Marine sucks. There's like you think about Die Hard, the original Die Hard, as a story. It is John McClane. He's the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that simple story element can be a foil. But John McClane is not trying to, like, John McClane doesn't rush the terrorists trying to save the day himself. He spends most of the movie just trying to buy enough time so that the heroes that he sees are the FBI agents, well, no, he doesn't like the FBI agents, but the idea of the other cops, the proper people out there, will be able to save the day, rescue the people, and everything that he does is about trying to assist them so that they can do their job. So when everything falls apart in terms of him trying to save somebody, there's the kind of like heart-wrenching in a sense, but it's kind of played as a point of power, that John is one of the people there recognizes that John got in. He goes, "Oh, I can talk him down. I can get your detonators. I can solve the issue. You terrorists can just go away and leave us alone. You're not going to harm us." And John spends the time trying to tell Hans Gruber, no, I don't know this guy. I only met him. I only met him like 20 minutes ago. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. And the guy, and Hans Gruber threatens to shoot him. He's taken out, and it's and it weighs on John. There's always the point of the hero isn't the idea of how best to put it, the idea of a hero being weak because they have conscience, guilt, emotion they feel, or anything else like that, is a element that has. Okay, we cannot see the cinematics still again.
We have what we came for. Let's get back to
The
the upper floor.
the heroes that are out there, we had for generations the idea of the Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger style of big beefy action stars. They were they were they were basically the template for what heroes were meant to be. You know, eat clay, shit out bricks, that sort of undefeatable hero. They could end up bloodied at the end, but it'd be like somebody'd fire a bullet at them, they'd catch it in the shoulder, and they'd just work their way through and fight for, you know, all American all American superiority or whatever the hell element they were going for in such movie. John McClane was the first hero that at the end of the movie, who honestly looked like he had been through hell and came out the other side just by the skin of his teeth. And I think there's Halo 5 tried to actually place the question upon the kind of players, was that Cortana's loss actually means so much more to John, the hero of these games, than he's really letting on, and that someone could use that to basically fuck with him. And no one and no one really ever second guessed what John 117 would do if he lost it, if he lost his moral compass, if he lost the guidance of somebody for whom he could operate at his highest efficiency because he trusted the person beside him, much like with what they'd always referred to for how Spartans had to operate. They operated in teams, or that as a solo, as a solo Spartan, it was that they were dangerous by themselves because they wouldn't look out for one another. They wouldn't have somebody to look out for them. They needed to work in teams. And John, being who he was, Cortana was his kind of center. It helped create his efficiency. I still like the fact that Halo 5 went, okay, what if somebody just dangled the thread of Cortana's alive, whether good, bad, or otherwise? What would he do? And I like the idea of him absolutely going AWOL, because it's a difference. It's a different way to present your hero and go, not every hero is going to make the best decisions in their life. Like, heroes will make the bad decision someday. And that's more interesting, I think. And that's what I really liked about Halo 5, because it just pushed this idea of, well, do you agree with it? It was new, it was refreshing. I think the marketing did the game dirty. Yeah, it could be, in a sense, like the marketing. Everybody also, like, I think one of those times where if you just kind of, if you put the game out there without kind of giving up anything about it, you know, like the kind of comment about pull a Sony, like, don't say anything, just set the embargo and just go, okay, that's it. You know, we're not going to tell you shit. We're not going to show you shit. Like, go to the, like, you have to play it when it comes out, read the reviews, and that'll help you decide. That could have been a better way to do it. But it's almost a coulda, woulda, shoulda. Which sucks because I think there's also a lot of games where sometimes that hasn't worked in their favor. People have tried the oh my god, I'm actually locked out. Let me through. And this should be send your sword again. Where is he? Hey, fair enough. You can beg to differ and feel that it sucks. And I will say, absolutely, yeah. You're right. It sucked for you. But I think it's a game that actually gets shat on a bit undeservedly because it at least tried something different. That if you were to look at, like, if you consider sequels to games after, sequels to games that have occurred in like the last 10 years, there are very few games that try to break up the mold or formula in not a dismissive way, but in a manner. Oh, Jesus, did I get decked in the back? Do you think a lot more games would have been more successful if social media didn't exist? I think there is an absolute bucket of games that would have done better without the weight of discourse that occurred due to social media. Like, my favorite example talking about any, like, where social media and all of that sort of dialogue kind of ruins games, is my classic example of Outriders. Outriders, I didn't give time in the day to it, and I should have. And it was my wife calling me out and going, you haven't even played this game. You've just heard people shit on it. How about shut your fucking mouth and play the game before you start making commentary or assumptions about it? And she was absolutely right, which changed my perspective on how to consider these things. I can play myself and come to my own decisions, and it's fine to read a review or hear somebody's slap her. Yeah. All right. We are going to get rid of that. And yeah, you're sick. So the key thing is that my wife is absolutely right. And I don't care what anybody says about it. You should be forming your own opinion. Others' opinions should be complementary to what it is you're trying to understand. Are you playing something because you are trying to, what are you looking for? If you're looking for reasons to hate something, then that is what social media does fantastically. It builds you out and it gives you everything that you could want to be able to hate something. But it doesn't ever give you something to rally behind or go, you know what, this is fun, this is good. You may like it, you may not like this, you may not like that. But go into it hoping for the best or being pleasantly surprised, because if you want 100 negative opinions, social media will do that all day. But is that opinion yours, or is your opinion based on what someone else has decided, and that you've decided to echo because they want the attention? Is anybody out there actively built around wanting to hear you and say, that is your opinion, that's cool, I disagree? Or are you being told what someone else is saying to you should be how you think? Like, there's nothing out there. These cinematics, man. Oh, and there we go. B30. The best way to exist is to experience the world yourself through your own eyes, through your own hands, through your own experiences, but to never hate just on what someone else says. If somebody knows you well enough to go, I don't think you'd enjoy this, it's much like the statement in journalism. For any reporter, if somebody says that it's raining outside and somebody says it's not raining outside, your job is not to report both sides of the story and say, this person says it's raining, this person says it's not. It is your job to go out there and find out whether it is raining or not, and to report the truth. Everyone's own personal truth comes from them experiencing or seeing everything with their own eyes and making their decision as they go. Because you will find people out there who, if they continue to say to you, it's raining, and you go outside and it is raining, then you're like, wow, they're actually saying what is occurring out there. They may go, it's raining heavy, and you go, wow, like this rain is like nothing. Like, we have some serious storms. Yeah, somebody says it's raining cats and dogs, you go outside and it's a drizzle. Point of perspective. But if you go out there and they say it's raining and it's not, you can be like, but it's not raining. They're like, no, it's absolutely raining cats and dogs. I'm like, okay, but it's not. That's not true. It's how every part and perspective, and I think especially video games and discourse has fallen into this point where everybody goes, no, you have to agree with me. I don't think anybody has to agree with me. Everyone's capable of their own thoughts and decisions. Because you kind of build these out yourself. That if you see the world's, you look outside and it's raining, and you go, I asked this person and they said, yeah, it's raining. It is not, in a sense, then your responsibility to go, oh, but everyone agrees with this guy who says it's not raining outside. It is incumbent upon you to decide who is truth. You're referring to that movie. I don't. It could be a reference in a movie. It's actually it's a famous statement. I cannot remember from which journalism group. But it's generally attached to the kind of rules of journalism that a lot of news corporations work with, which, well, up until, God, even a few years ago. Yeah, monkey see, monkey do. Although we have just hit after 8:30 p.m. here in Australia, so we will have to be catching it up. Try not to be evil. Yeah, see no evil. Those elements.
We're almost on top of them, Chief.
Yeah.
Should be in the canyon below us. Get a visual.
Unfortunately, yeah, because I have a. Ooh, wait. You. heresy is near. I did no such thing. Unfortunately, yeah, we will probably be calling it after I get to a save point in this battle, because I have a podcast I'm needing to record tomorrow, which will be very interesting. That I haven't asked whether I can actually promote it before it happens, but it's part of a Patreon exclusive thing. So I know someone here knows, someone who's watching knows it. But in a sense, like, it's the same for, like, I suppose in a sense, the way I've always kind of talked about or considered things is that there's that kind of way that a lot of people will look at any topic or go, but I think this, I think these particular things, or I agree with this position. There's always that point of, in my later years, I've recognized that so much of how the world kind of positioned and changed things was that in a world of influences or particular positions where you go, oh, this person's a trusted voice in video games. Ow. The thing that's kind of thrown me, in a sense, possibly about how all of it works, is that we've gone to a point of, oh, this person is a trusted voice in video games, like, or you should trust me with your with reviews and these things and those things. But the trusted voices in video games is a very slippery slope, because if you really kind of think about it, oh Jesus, okay. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to call it there. I just let Senor Sordigan just run straight up behind me and just put a sword through my back. I am definitely getting so fucking tired. All right, so I'm gonna call it there for tonight's stream, but we will be continuing this on, I think, for when will we be doing this again? It'll be Thursday night, I believe. Thursday night in Australia. So we have that. At least we talk about Aussies. Yeah, a lot of people. Oh yeah, that's right. There's the skull. So what is it that I picked up? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that there was skulls for infinite ammo and grenades. Okay, interesting. I did not know that. I have to admit, I never really looked into the uh the proper skulls or anything else like that. I was never that good to be able to hunt them down. But it's actually been quite chill. And just relaxed. Yeah, finishing early because it will be interesting. Because yeah, do a podcast in less than 12 hours from now, so I'm needing to sleep and make sure I get set for that. But thank you to everybody who kind of popped by and chatted out in the chat. Thank you to the Twitch viewers as well who swung by. And yeah, we've got even got a few others there as well. You're not a boring fucker. Everybody is great. Everybody's fantastic. Thank you to Donald and OMG Turtles in the YouTube chat. And apparently, just as we're about to finish, another Ban Evader appearing in the Twitch chat. Good for you, sir. I'm not going to banhammer you, not today. We'll see for next time. So hopefully, with whatever you're doing for the rest of the day or night, enjoy yourself, play some games, have some fun, and think. I would say consider the lily. No, I've just always been been of the opinion. Find your passion and bring it here, and let's talk about it. So, thank you to everybody. And if you're a member of the Xbox 2 Discord, I'll see you on a Patreon stream later today. For anybody who knows what I'm talking about, you know. Catch ya.